Good morning, good morning, good morning. Or afternoon. It's Ruth Marquise, your favorite realtor. Welcome to the Ruth and Relationship Show. I am your host, Ruth Marquise, aka your favorite realtor, aka your favorite credit specialist, aka your love negotiator. I help men and women relate, get into quality relationships that lead to quality families, that lead to quality communities, that leave quality legacies. Let's build. Today's topic: is there room for competition in relationships? Is there room for competition in relationships? If you're on here, say hi. If you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay. What up, replay gang? How y'all doing? Hey, Lalu, you says hello, great one. Hello, I am doing greater than I was yesterday. Yep, I beat you. How are y'all doing today? Where y'all at, Facebook? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Do you think it's healthy to have competition in your relationship? Right? You would be surprised what I found out. I'm going to tell you what happened. He says, "You look so stunning, legendary." Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. So, absolutely. Here we go. Facebook, I'm checking on y'all. Don't say I ain't checked. Don't say I ain't checked. I'm checking every couple little bits. All right. YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like it. You says, "I'm fine. Thank you. World famous." There you go. World famous. I claim it. I claim it. I prophesy, brother. All right. So now we're going to talk about, he said, "You bet." Absolutely. So one day I'll be coming over there to Nigeria. Hey. All right. So we're going to talk about competition for in relationships and how it can be healthy, unhealthy, like in general, what is the consensus? And then I want to talk from it top down. Like I want to talk about the society in general, all the way to specifically. Okay. So let's start with society. Okay. And society, because of we want it to be equal. Don't get me wrong. There's no woman on this planet that doesn't want to be equal. Okay. We want women's rights. We want the right to be seen as a whole person, just like a man. No man has said, I want to be, I want you to take away my rights or my privileges or my whatever, right? No man wants to say that. No man wants to um, say, I would like to be treated a little less than because I'm a woman, right? No white person is going to say, you better treat me like them black people that y'all be killing on them streets. Like everybody has, no pretty. No pretty person's gonna say, treat me like you would those less fortunate on their eyes. Okay, nobody's gonna give up their advantage. Okay, that is what it is. You are who you are. When I look at it and I see like how God has blessed so many people, everybody got something. Okay, if you don't got the face, you got a little booty. If you don't got the muscles, you're packing somewhere else. Like something, you got something. Everybody got something. So work what you got. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. So when it comes to women's rights, it starts becoming a competition with men. Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. Yes, I can. I'm going to keep singing that song until y'all understand what I'm saying. Okay? So it's one thing to be equal, it's another thing to be like, I'm better than you. I am better. You peasant man. Look at me. I am a queen. You you're looking down at the men like I make more money than you now, man. I am better and I am a queen, right? And look, I get attention from everywhere. Look at that. I'm beautiful. Now, when one person's looking down on the other, it used to be the other way around. The men were looking down on the women. Now the women are looking down on the men. That's when you get the competition. Now you bring that from society. I'm about to show you in a minute. I'm going to prove my points. You bring it from society into your personal relationship. You bring it into your family with sibling rivalries. Wait, I was watching Ambulance. I was watching Ambulance yesterday, and they were fighting. Like they were in a car, a bank robbery, and they were over here, brothers fighting each other. It was hilarious. I'm like, y'all about to get killed by a sniper, but y'all over here fighting. It's a competition, right? So I wanted to walk through all the different facets of how this can be good, how this can be bad. So y'all stick with me, all right? Now, my personal stories, Ruth and relationship started as a journey for me to grow in the area of relationships because I had relationships. Everybody goes through this phase where one fails and another fails and another fails. And eventually you're like, well, what the hell did I do? Right. And there was on a Facebook post where a guy's like, there's like when women are like, when somebody posted, and it was a woman, she was like, and when do you ever blame yourself for picking that person? Right? Do you ever do it? And I was like, I want to say all the time, like, you know how you just can't respond to something because it's a long story? It's a long story, sis. But I do take accountability because I know from the first choice. That's why I tell the kids off out the gate when you're in high school, your first choice is going to lead to this downward spiral or this upward elevation. I'm going to sing it again. I'm going to sing it again. Your first choice leads to your downward spiral or your upward elevation. Okay. My girl Lori Harvey's on her upward elevation. Right? She didn't just be like, yo, I'm gonna pick a bum on the street. She set her standards up there. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, but women, we can't do the same thing. You don't have the same kind of, you don't got all the same stuff. You gotta have the same ingredients for the cake. Anyway, so personal story is I did not realize that no matter what relationship I was in, no matter how humble I was, no matter how much cooperation I gave, the men was competing with me, sis. They were competing. Because maybe their expectation of a woman was like, some of them was like, yeah, you're gonna work a regular job and you're gonna be regular, and that's it. But me, I'm Ruth. Hello, right? Like, huh? I was never supposed to be like unknown, underground, under the carpet. Nobody knows me. Like, no, I was always supposed to be who God created me to be, and everybody's supposed to be that way. But I actually walk into what I'm supposed to do. So whenever I would rise up and become this woman, the people, because I had low level choices, they would always bring me down in a relationship. So the majority of the problems was that. That was it. Because my thing was, I'm doing good. I'm trying to be my best. But I was watching the live, and the girl was like, and don't get me wrong, I was competitive too. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me messed up. I was like, oh, all right. You want to be making money? I can be making money too. All right. Right? So I can't say I was never competitive. That's just in your nature when you are an ambitious person. But I didn't expect that person to be competitive back with me or to be like, yo, I can't compete with you or I won't compete with you. So I just need you to sit down and be quiet and give whatever crumbs I decide to give you. That's what you get, and sit down and be happy about it. And I was never going to take that, right? So what happened was every single time I try to do something that would make me a better person or whatever, it would be like, no, you need to quit. No, you need to stop. Oh no, this not working out. Oh, where's this? Or where's that? You need to prove it. Where's the money at? Where's this one at? Where's that? And I was just talking to a buyer on the phone. She's like, that's so, not a buyer, seller. And she was like, that's so crazy. Like I started this business 5 years ago, and now I'm starting to see the fruits of the labor. I was on year 3. Was I on year 3 started. Yeah, I was on year 3. And it's just when they say them statistics, they're not lying. You break even on year 3, and then from there you should be in profit mode. That's real because you got to keep putting into the business. So all until then, I gotta hear, hey, you're not doing that, you're not doing that. Then when I get out of another one, I'm doing better than the other person, and they start getting insecure. And I was like, at the end, I'm not like crazy person, so I could at least get some feedback. I get some customer service. I get some customer service. I get some Ruth surveys at the end. Like, okay, how did I do? And then I realized quietly secret competition again. And I was like, but I never gave you a reason to compete with me. What happened was like you wasn't doing nothing. Like, you naturally felt guilty as a man. That's on you. Like I said, low vibrational people, so even more so. And I told you another time that the person was like, oh, don't remind me that you always gonna be making more money than me. Because I'm sorry, that's how I said that. Right? But me and that same person, if you would have put us at the same starting line, if we was the same age, if we was the same kind of work ethic, he would have surpassed me easily because I got other stuff going on. I said all that to say that competition can be the breakdown of your relationship. Women have to learn. I competed too. So all I could do is take responsibility for me. And that's why I don't deal with people they're just like, like it's one thing to deal with somebody that they don't have it together, and it's another thing to deal with somebody that don't have it together and are lost in the sauce. No purpose, like they don't know what they're supposed to do with their life. They don't know, like it's a different thing. You don't even have your solid career. Like, I know that I'm going to be this. That's the basic. You don't need to be dating. You don't need to be in a relationship if you're a man. You don't know what you want to do. Do not, please, do us all a favor, right? Just stay with yourself till you figure that out. All right. So it's when you start to walk into what God has called you to do, you are going to have a nice, and like, and my thing is, I could have been with somebody that was supportive, that was like, girl, you could do it, and I would have been far. I always said that. I was like, yo, if I could just get with somebody that would just always push me when I don't feel like it, I'd be straight, and I wouldn't even need to worry about money, like, at all. But I just never found that because they were secretly trying to compete, secretly trying to get there, and I'm picking based off of my insecurities, but I needed to pick somebody that was already secure and established. So when you're not healed, you will choose out of your insecurities. Well, I can't get nobody like this, and I got this going on, and I got that going on, so I only qualify for this and that. And playing the victim, is this going to get you more victim results? I'm going to say it again. Playing the victim is only going to get you victim results. So I had to grow. I had to let go. I remember saying that, listen, I'm gonna do this. I was gonna like record some songs, and the person was mad that I was like in somebody's basement recording, and I was like, you know what, somebody get in my way, I'm gonna run them over. Right? Once you realize that somebody has a lid on you, you don't want to be there no more. That's what a competition does. It makes one person afraid to be their best. That is not a good relationship. A great relationship is pushing you up. I'm egging you on, you're egging me on, and we're going up together. I don't compete with you. You don't compete with me. Whoever's further ahead is just back there clapping. One day that's going to be me. I'm right today. I'm happy for you. There's no jealousy. There's no competition. There's no, I'll show you. I'm not the only, like you always, this is what social media can do to people. Hey, Ty, this is what social media can do to people. Make people feel like they're always in competition with one another. I'm going to say competition in a relationship. Is there room for competition in a relationship? So I would love to hear from you guys. What do you think? And I'm telling you, I was beyond when I got the truth that you did this and you was better than me and this and that. I'm like, oh my gosh. I said, I will never choose in that way again. Mm-mm. Pin comment. There we go. So we got our title. So it's not to say like, oh, you know, I'm not saying that men will get jealous of you if you're successful. There's some men that's like, girl, you don't got. That's what I'm saying. So some women are not looking for a guy that is so like, oh, I want an alpha male, high value man. They just want somebody that is secure in what they're doing, that is happy and content. Why I gotta be hot breath Harry? Hot breath Harry. High value man. Right? Oh my gosh. So this is we're not some women are not looking to compete with a man. They're not looking for to get something from a man. They just don't want to be with an insecure man who don't got nothing going on, who's going to keep looking on your side to see what you got going on and to try to put you down. Those are low vibrational men. Okay, we don't need them. Sorry. If you want to compete with a girl, that's crazy. In my mind, men are men and women are women. We have two different games to play. Come on, somebody. Men are men and women are women. We have two different games to play. I peeped a while ago. I said, listen, Ruth, I know you keep going to these real estate meetings, and I know you in here with a bunch of men. And I know you in here like, well, on the leaderboard, they're talking about this person sold 5 homes, and this person sold 8 homes, and this person sold 13 homes. They had a good month, right? You cannot compete with a woman that has children that are grown. You cannot compete with a man who don't have the same responsibilities as you. Because when they say, oh, don't do that. When, if you had a leaderboard for I love you mommy texts when they're not around, you'd be winning. Come on, somebody. If you had a leaderboard for best mother of the week, you'd be winning. If you had a leaderboard for the best meals cooked and the best, look, I ain't picked them up on time, but I picked them up. The best loving, most nurturing person of the week, you'd be winning. So if you're winning across the board and you still have a business and you still have great kids, I was sitting back like, yo, my kids, man. They are some, I like being around them. They like being around me. You have like that is when they say you're a real leader when you can produce leaders. I'm just like, sis, if you don't like, if you lay down and you don't do nothing else, you can sit back and watch your girls progress. You can sit there and watch your girls flourish. You can sit there and be like, look at that. She got a lot of me in her. That's amazing. But America don't judge all that. So I had to Ben say, sit down, sis. Stop competing with these other realtors that ain't got no kids. He said, what is this? Envision. Hey, it says, hey, buddy. Oh, Vishnu. Hey, Vishnu. Yeah. Stop competing with people that are strangers. Stop competing on social media. So this whole competition thing is all across the board. Stop competing with your neighbor. Stop trying to be like such and such. Drive like such and such. They might be driving nicer than you, but you have investment properties. You have your future set. When that car 10 years from now get old, you're going to be getting rent for, you're going to be having cash flow, passive income. What you're trying to do right now, that idea in your mind right now, you might be at a critical time. Should I buy a new car or should I buy an investment property? Go with the investment property, because that investment property will buy you a new car later, again and again and again and again. So that is competition with other people, competition on social media, right? He says, well said, thank you. So when you get into your relationship, there's no reason for competition with someone you say you love. That's like mothers competing with their daughters. Please don't do this. Please don't. There's a lot of women that will put their daughter down because they're jealous of their daughter. They wish their body could look like that. They wish they had youth in their face like that. They wish they could have the opportunities that their daughters have. Don't be like that. You're competing with members in your family. And you're talking about I'm better than her because X, Y, and Z, and I'm better than him for X, Y, and Z. Come on, don't do that. Y'all are one unit. Y'all are one family. In crisis, one person could do this part, and another person could do that part. So in a relationship, you are operating as one team, one person, one group, and what you're gonna. Everybody has a different role. How can two people? It's like comparing apples and oranges. If this is not the, I can't be like, well, how's the bite on the on the orange, or like how much citrus is in that apple? You can't even compare the two. We're in two different worlds. Men are in one world, women are in another world. I was watching a live and they were like, so to the guy, right? And these were women that we know they wouldn't put up with he didn't know how they were going to respond. But he was like, she was like, they was like, anyway, the woman was like, do you believe that men are leaders? And he knew, like, he felt like they were going to hate this. He was like, well, and the way he broke it down, he was like, well, men have broad shoulders. These damn men and their facts. That was so good. He said, well, men have broad shoulders. I was like, well, how you gonna play this? Their bodies were built to carry stress. Okay. So, and he said, and I tell my woman all the time that once he starts seeing that they were receiving it, he's like, there's sometimes I tell my woman, like, let that go and let me carry that for you. Let me handle that for you. Like, and then the woman was like, ooh, like they sigh of relief. Like, yeah, I do like when you carry stuff. Okay, that's leadership. I'm carrying the stress. I'm carrying the burden. So, hold on, I'm about to get to your question. So he said, and I tell my woman that women have, they have the wider hips, so something like this, like, so basically, it was for, giving childbirth, like, birthing a child. So do you, I'll do me, because we want our kid. We had the same goals. I was in settlement the other day, and I was like, did you really think that the guy was acting all crazy, like, no, we're not about to settle? I said, did you really think he was going to get to the day of settlement and back out? It happens, but that's for somebody that doesn't want to buy, that doesn't want to sell. It happens. So why did we get all the way here? I said he already thought about the permits that he was going to pull. He already thought about what color he was going to build the building. And you're going to take what he said. I'm like, give him some time. He'll get it together. Oh yeah, definitely change his mind. We got this far for you to back out? That don't make any sense. So when you're in a relationship, why would you go through all of these things just to let it fall apart? Let me read the question. What if your own mother takes a swing at you and tells you that she spent all the money for you and your education and now she wants the money back? What would be your response? Was it a loan? No. You're not giving her no money back. What do you mean? You didn't ask to be here. She wanted to do something for you. She wanted to do something for you. She did it. That was it. Like, I hate when parents be like, pay me back. No, there's no paying you back, okay? The older you get, the more financially settled you are. So why would you ask somebody that has less money than you to pay you back? I'm a big person of like, listen, if you don't got it, it's a gift. It's a gift at this point. For me, if I was the mom, I'd be like, here you go. Unless you was disrespectful to me, unless, like, if you calling me all types of B's and all that and being rude, then okay, I'm gonna feel like I want it back. But other than that, my job is to push my child to have the best advantage. So when my children have jobs and stuff like that, I don't sit there and ask them for money. Oh, I need to pay this bill. I want to give them an advantage. If the only advantage I can give is that you go to work and I won't take your money, I'll give you that advantage. Why is that happening? I don't know why, but sometimes when moms get older, they start to expect the kids to take care of them. So they do stuff for you and then they make you feel guilty for what they do for you because they want you to be around. They want to have mind control. The best thing you can do is try to get yourself out of the situation. I talk to guys all the time, like, young guys, like, don't let your mom put a bunch of guilt on you. The best thing you can do is have the best life you can. Then when she needs help or whatever, you got it. But if you allow her to This is your potential. If you're allowing her to keep you down here, you'll never get there to be able to help. You'll never be able to help your mom if you go by off her emotions, if you go by off what she wants to do. So there even a competition within family with parents and children, right? I said it on yesterday's show 123, where parent as Haitian kids, parents understood that the kids are going to be smarter than the kid. I mean, than the parents, because they had to bring the letter. This is the same letter I wrote. They had to bring the letter, and the mom would read it. I mean, the kid would read the letter and tell the parent what it said. So there was a level of, I got to be nice to you because you're going to have to do stuff for me later, right? That if you were smart. But the other part of them is, I'm your parent. I did all this stuff for you. Like, whoa. Like, at the end of the day, you brought me into this world without me voting on it, right? Like, I brought my kids here without me voting on it. I'm going to do things for them. Only thing I ask is that you be grateful. Did I answer your question? That's it. That's all you need is gratitude, thankfulness, appreciation. That's it. Ain't no I pay you back. Ain't no none of that. When parents start doing that, that's poor people stuff. I say that all the time. That's poor people stuff. I'm not into that. I'm gonna give my child that advantage. If I ain't give you $1,000,000, like, that's the minimum I could do. And that's on that. And that's how I feel, think, and believe. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like the video. I appreciate it. It's going up in the algorithm when you do that. So if you want to hear more about this. Okay. So competition and relationships. When you get with a girl and she's doing better than you, don't compete with her. Encourage her to be better and be more, because there's a lot more guys that's willing to be like, yo, I will support you. That was the most embarrassing thing that ever happened back in the day when I was like zero, 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 zero money, and this guy was crushing on me, and the person I was with did not want to pay for this sign. I was like, I need $50. What's so hard about it? So they put a mass email out there like, Ruth needs a sign, and I was so embarrassed, but I needed a damn sign. So the guy that was crushing on me was like, I got it. And I had to say no, whatever, because it was like, if you don't support her, there's somebody ready to scoop her up. That's all I got to say about that. There's somebody else that's willing to support her. So women are the ones right now that are competing with the men a lot. I remember being jealous. Like, these are my confessions. Just when I say my mind, and you understand. When you think you know the words, you don't. All right. I used to be mad because I was like, why is it that I keep getting all these jobs and they don't want to pay me nothing? It was this job. If I went to daycare, they was paying, at the time, they were paying like $8 an hour. That was a lot for daycare. It was crazy. And daycare pays the least out of everybody, I swear. Horrible, I know. Okay. If I wanted to be a teacher, it was always gonna be less. All this. But the dude could go and get a job in construction and maintenance and all that and be making money tomorrow. I'm like, wait. I was like, why is this going like this? This is crazy. So whoever set up those wages, they knew what they were doing. So I used to get upset. Like, why can't I make as much as the men? Like, this is really what it is. So it's this fight where, like, women want to make more money than men. Don't bring that into your relationship. So let me give you some signs. First of all, let's get into the research.
Strange. So what advice can you give to people who are
Hold on. You know me. I like definitions. So let's look up the definition of competition. All right, competition is don't you hate when they say, like, you say competition and then they just compete? Okay, compete. Okay, compete. Strive to gain. Strive to gain or win something by defeating or establishing superiority over others who are trying to do the same. The key word here is you have to get that advantage by defeating. That don't make no sense. How are you going to be with somebody and defeat them at the same time? How are you going to be with somebody and establish that you're better at the same time? That's only going to cause resentment in the other person. That's what people don't understand. When you're in that abusive dynamic, let's say you're with somebody that is toxic, right? And they feel like, oh, I got the upper hand on her. Like I'm gonna make her feel like she's not good enough and she's not better. And that's why it's so dirty, because women are very, like, we are receivers, so we can receive energy and we can receive thoughts that a man places in our mind. And that's why people are like, well, you're a grown woman, why would you let somebody just play with your mind like that? Oh, baby, but you ain't never been in love. Okay. Love can make you do some crazy things, right? So the girl loves this guy. This guy is like, I'm gonna make her, I'm gonna dominate over her. I know how to get her. She's a sweetheart. I'm going to play her. Like, I'm going to do what I want with her. And what they don't understand is, over time, over the years, the resentment just builds. And if she ever comes into her understanding of who she is, she's going to leave you. And that guy knows it. He knows that she's not going to stay if she ever get into her right mind. So therefore, he stops her from advancing. That's why you get the blocks all the time. So let's go to 20 signs you're competing with your partner. The following 20 competitive signs suggest that you're in a competitive relationship. You weren't happy when your partner succeeds at something. You aren't happy when your partner succeeds at something. Instead of celebrating your partner's success, if you're being too competitive, you feel envious and maybe a little hostile or insecure when your partner accomplishes something. Let me go ahead and share this with y'all so y'all can see it on your Facebook. Let's run through this real quick. Yes. She says, she said, girl, hello, how are you, love? CT is your name? Are you from Bermuda? Oh, what's your first name, if you don't mind? You said when she realizes her worth, it's over for whatchamacallit. Yes, ma'am. And I was saying, I kept choosing these. Oh, she said, girl, 100, 100, 100. Okay, thank you. It's just like, that's why I don't like women bashing. I don't like it because women go through too much stuff to be bashed by people online. We go through too much stuff. And the reason why we do things is almost like you have a heart that's sensitive for what they're going through. But at the same time, like, being a mom is tough. Being a dad is harder in this sense, where you got to be the bad guy. Like, the mom's is like, your daddy said, right? You got to be the bad guy. And, so we got to be the bad guy to be like, look, we got to straighten this part out. But you also feel the pain that women feel because you've been there. She says, sexy cutie, and my name is Asia. Thank you, boo. Yes, Asia. I love it. That's a beautiful name, too. Can you imagine me with these eyes talking about my name is Asia? Are you Asia or Asian chat? No, I'm joking. It don't help that I like with the makeup. It don't help, chat. All right, so yeah, women have to be careful because we are open to suggestion. How does this work? We are open to suggestion. Oh, okay, I picked the wrong one. We are open to suggestions. So that way you have to pick. If you don't pick a guy that is good for you, you are going to think that all guys are like they're trash, they're not good. No, 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 no. You pick that guy. You pick the guy that was easy to deal with or easy, that came easy. You ain't flirt, you ain't do nothing. You were just like, you're right here next to me. Okay, boo. I'm lonely. I want somebody right now. I need somebody right now. I'll pick you. No, don't pick that guy. Don't pick the convenient guy. If you pick a guy that is worth it, you're not gonna have these type of problems. He's not gonna be competing with you. He's gonna have his own stuff, baby. He's gonna be like, babe, I'm here to help you. I'm always gonna shout them out. Torre says to Sarah Roberts, look them up. They're TD Jake's daughter. He said, I'm here to create an environment for you to flourish in. She says, you're welcome, love, and thank you, beautiful. Thank you, boo. All right. So absolutely. So you do not want to be in one of these toxic relationships where you're competing with each other. That's nonsense and ludicrous. All right, let's go through this. That's the or how do I can see this? So have you ever, okay, this is not just with your partner. Have you ever said something to somebody that was good and then you was like, you gave them good news, but they were not happy. They didn't sound happy for you. They're competing with you. Number two, you actually find yourself getting angry when your partner does something well. Why would you get angry? Number three, since you feel angry and resentful when your partner succeeds, you actually begin to hope they will fail. So let me tell you, I was listening to this girl, okay, and she was saying on a live, she was saying how, what she was saying? She was saying how women would, but she was talking about, I think we should always always differentiate that there's a type of man and a type of woman, because not all women would do this, but some women, those lower vibrational women or lower frequency women, or just, they just bottom of the barrel, they would compete with you and do these crazy things. Not just competing, because she was talking about sabotaging your job, sabotaging your success. And a man, I will hear a man say, I'm like, I have never understood. I have never, what? So when she said all of that, I was like, I hear what you're saying, sis, but a man has done that to me. So I believe there's good people and there's bad people, and the bad people just keep doing stuff to the good people, whether it's man or woman. And you just got to stay away from the bad people. Good people got to find good people. It's hard to, but you can. And bad people got to find bad people, and they can make each other miserable. But you have to learn to stay away. I don't care how fine he is. That's the more toxic he could be, sis. It don't matter. You doing all that fine stuff for everybody else to see. How about you get somebody that has good qualities on the inside, so therefore you're actually happy? You're not going to be happy if this person is treating you like crap. Matter of fact, you're in more of a risk, because now you got psychological damage. Now when you move on to the next situation, when you're waiting for the whole bomb to drop, the whole world to fall apart to finally leave that person, when you could have been left them when you saw a little red flag. You could have been like, you know what? I just don't feel like ruining my life today. So I'm gonna go ahead and, you cute and all, you're amazing and all. But you got some toxic ways, and I'm not gonna deal with it. So when I'm hearing this stuff, I'm like, yo, that was what they did to me. What did you talk about? You did this to me. Did you say it, right? So they were competing and they were hoping that it failed. I know that for a fact, because they would sabotage and they would say, like, oh, like they were like happy when I closed my business. They were happy when things didn't go well. That is crazy. All right. Number four, you feel like you need to one up your partner in multiple areas of life. You need to one up your partner in multiple areas of life. Ladies, we think it's cute. Oh, he gonna do this, fine. I'm gonna do that. This is where the cute go toxic, okay? I'm a very competitive woman. Like, I never forget saying that on the video. I'm a very competitive woman, and I'm a feminine when it comes to my man. It was funny. That was the first video I did for Ruth and Relationships. Check it out on YouTube. So, hopefully you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, Ruth Marquise. Okay, and when you are one upping somebody, when you're one upping your friends or you're one upping your man, like we do, like it's like with our friends, we know how to act. But when it comes to that man, honey, we got problems. We got problems. I love it. I got checked because it's like, I hope you're not in competition with me. You're like, one day I hope to be at your level. Right? And it's like, oh, don't even think like that. Just don't even go there. Just don't even let your mind envy what they have. It's just, this is their time. Let them have their time. Numbers, and you as a woman, you should be like, listen, if you working hard and you're doing what you need to be doing, like, what do I got to do to help you and support you to have success? Because you don't have to tell a good man how to support his woman. Oh baby, no ma'am. You don't have to tell a good man how to support his woman. He's already gonna know. He's already going to figure out, well, she need this. Let me go figure it out that she need that. Let me ask her. Let me pay attention to her. Do we do that to our mate? Do we do that to our person? So it's not like, oh, I'm kissing his butt. It's like, no, I want to support him just like I believe he would support me. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's called a relationship. We don't know. Yeah, we don't know. We don't know, man. All we see is this bottom of the barrel stuff. So we got to break out a mentality. He says, number 5, you secretly celebrate when your partner fails at something. I cannot even see that. I'm trying to think if I ever did that. No, I would be upset. I would be upset. I'm sure I was petty someday, one day, but then I was like, no, I don't be like that. But nah. Number 6, when your partner succeeds at a task that is within your area of strength or expertise, you begin to doubt yourself and your abilities. This is an insecure person. You got to be insecure. Like, oh, well, why they do that? They can listen. There's a spot, a sweet spot where women think that men cannot be a good parent to their child. There's a sweet spot, and then they'll play themselves because the men will have more discipline with the kid. What does the kid? The kid need love and discipline. So if you just give him love and no discipline, the guy in that case will be better. How can you just love, 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 love? You can do anything. Mommy, I hate you. Smack you in the face. Oh, but I love you, little Billy. Don't hit me like that, little Billy. You know how much I love you. Poor little mommy. Oh my God, getting abused by the kids. I told my kids, I wish one of y'all would. I wish I would need a kid. She's like, you sound just like grandma. She's like, I said, I wish I would be scared of a kid. You sit there and take care of the kid. What? Anyway, I digress. So the next one is, it seems as if you and your, okay, wait, number 7, I'm sorry. 7 says, you feel that when your partner does something well, your own talents are diminished. Right. Number 8 says, it seems as if you and your partner are not on the same page. You tend to do most things separately. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like Goofy says, oh my gosh. Yeah, you do everything separately. Everything. So people used to be like, y'all don't have a joint account. Y'all not on the same pay. I didn't think nothing up. What did I know? I ain't know. Hey, Facebook. What do y'all say? What's up, Joe? What's up, Anthony? And competition. Have you ever been with somebody that was in competition with you? I need you to look out for that because we as women had to get rid of some of these masculine traits. I was watching something where they were talking about the difference between cooperation and collaboration. That was so good. I might even share with you. Let me write down. If we're going to go deeper in our relationships, then we need to do the homework. We need to be better people. That's what we need to do. We need to learn and grow. And then you would be able to choose whoever you want because you are that person. You did the inner work. But if you're not working on yourself and you just expect, you feel entitled, like, come on. Entitled people get nothing. Like, what do they get of value? Except for complaining. Like, that's all they can get is the ability to complain. All right. It seems, okay, number 9, you find that you and your partner keep score on everything from who made more money last year to who ran the kids' soccer practice the most times last month. Oh my gosh. Pray for me, y'all. Pray for me. Who made more money last year? I remember we had the same job. And I never showed me his pay stuff from the next year. We had the same. You put me on Uber. How much you make? Never could find. I never seen a W-2 go missing in my life. because I killed him the year before. He thought he was gonna, yo, he was ashamed, embarrassed. And I was mad. I was like, how you gonna make me show you my money? You ain't show me yours. I was like, I can't do stuff like that. It don't matter. Okay. Whatever it is what it is. I cannot stand like, I did it twice last month. I did it twice the other month. When it comes time to doing things for you. Really? To the did something for the kids 3 times. Like we keeping score. Is this soccer? Why are we keeping score? We're in the same relationship. It's stressful. Like one thing I do know is I can't do tit for tat. I just can't. If you feel like I'm not pulling my weight, just talk to me, but don't do tit for tat with me. That is going to backfire on me and you, honey. I don't know what's going on. I can't. Like, I'm trying to think of a recent example where it was a tit for tat and I was like, I'm cool. Oh, like, yeah, it could be in dating too. Um, Number 10, while you may be unhappy when your partner succeeds, if you're being too competitive, because you feel like you're losing. You keep feeling like you're losing, but you need to compare yourself to yourself, not to the other person. You might notice that your partner is not happy for you when you accomplish something, or they may belittle your success. That little real estate job, or you ain't making no money, or that's not real money. When you do finally make your check, oh, that's not no real money. Oh, when the next time you're gonna get that? Oh, that's not a good situation. You need to leave. If that is your situation, I'm not telling you what to do, but this is telling you that you are not in a good situation, sis, or man, or sir. If you with a woman and she's always trying to compete with you, it's not healthy. Your partner may make you feel guilty about working extra hours or putting what he believes too much time into your career. This is usually because of envy or resentment over your career success. Or sometimes men just don't want I don't know. Sometimes they just really want a woman that is going to support them and they're like, let me put it on my back and I will support you. But if you want her to work, she's working, she's doing her part, and you need her to do this, you should not be like, don't get no overtime, because there's nothing worse of a feeling where you are putting your body and life and mind on the line to work extra to bring in more for the family, and then you got to deal with somebody's attitude. Like, first of all, bro, I ain't want to come. I ain't want to come to work. I went because of y'all. What's Number 12. Another one of the competitive signs you and your partner may begin to sabotage each other. Woo! It's getting hot, hot, hot. These people popping, and I never stop it feeling hot, hot, hot. Number 13, if you're being too competitive, you and your partner may do things to make each other jealous. Maybe you'll flaunt your success and talk about how a mutual friend complimented your recent promotion at work. I can see that happening. Uh it may involve lies and secrets because you're afraid to tell your a partner that you failed at something. That's when it's going to start to backfire. But y'all get the point. Y'all can read the rest later. Okay. All right. So one thing I will say, when I don't think that competition is healthy, but Jordan Peterson about to tear it up right now. I love me some Jordan Peterson because he can give you some sage advice about life. I just was when I first heard about this man, I was listening to hours and hours and hours of him talking, and I'm just like trying to find where's the lie. He was the first one saying what patriarchy. He was the first one, and I was like, "Yo, there's no patriarchy. What? Right? I get it, but and they were the leaders. Like it's a whole thing. Anyway, I can't get into it today, but it made you feel like a victim. Like why? I mean, that's probably the only thing I would challenge. It's obviously like some rich white men running shit, right? But I don't think it's too. I think that once you are in leadership, people might feel suppressed, or they might feel oppressed, or they might feel like they're less than because somebody has the upper hand or advantage because they were just there first, or they took power, whatever the case may be. But anyway, long story short, he says a lot of stuff that's true. That's the only thing I disagree with about that.
Looking to have a strong and meaningful and lasting relationship with someone?
Well, the first thing is to decide if that is really what you want.
Is that fair, do you think, to say I want to be single forever? Do you think that's realistic or fair assessment of oneself?
I think that's, for most people, a pathway to insanity.
Yeah.
The psychoanalysts used to think that, and we all think this
Makes
way
some good
in some
points here.
ways, that you're sane because you're well put together. Your psyche is well structured, right? It's internal, somehow inside your head. And there's some truth in that. But here's a more accurate viewpoint, I think. You outsource most of your sanity because it's too complicated. And so what you do is your parents raise you to be vaguely acceptable to other people. And then you're surrounded by other people your whole life. And then every time you go off the rails a little bit, even just a little bit, people signal to you. Like you make a joke, it's not that funny, and people don't laugh. And you think, oh, I should probably rethink my sense of humor a little bit or pay more attention. Or you tell a rambling story and you notice that everyone's like lost in the distance. Right. So if you're civilized enough so that people don't shun you and you have people around you, then they're going to be always telling you how to not be too insane. Well, if you're alone, you drift. Right. You drift, right? And you'll drift in the direction of your biggest weakness. And so, there are some people, maybe they're introverted and disagreeable. They're not cut out for a lot.
He said that you drift into more of your weakness. More of your weakness. So when you are isolated, you can find yourself going to your vices or your weaknesses, or like you're not as strong if you had people around you checking you.
A lot of social contact. But we're social animals, man, right to the core.
I don't understand this.
It's a suboptimal solution for the vast majority of
I just
people.
lost my Instagram feed.
I think that people are having a harder time finding, like, let's call them more permanent relationships, is because it's become increasingly easy to have fleeting, casual sexual relationships. I mean, Tinder is a revolution, right? It's a revolution in sexual behavior, and it's certainly not obvious that it's
Is it a social thing? Is it just technology? Is this what people want to be doing? You think the fleeting, yeah,
in some ways,
but the technology has enabled this fleeting sexual.
Oh,
activity.
definitely. Okay. Definitely. And that's, but we don't want to underestimate how radical a technology that is. That's right. especially for men.
I do feel that deep down that all these people, men and women alike, are always longing for something more meaningful.
Facts.
Well, I think that that's generally the case. I mean,
so here they say basically that men, basically they have more options, and they can, if they want to have a lot of more casual relationships, they have access to that. But just remember that they all want a deeper meaning interaction. They can do it. They can be in casual relationship after another. After a while, the dude's gonna be like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I need something more deep and more meaningful. And he's about to get into that.
Part of the reason for a relationship is sexual contact, obviously. Well, that's, you don't necessarily need a relationship for that. But that's not the reason to be with someone. The reason to be with someone, when there's a lot of them. So one is, well, kids who have two parents do far better, period. The data on that is crystal clear. Doesn't mean that there aren't many single parents who struggle to do a wonderful job. That's not the same thing. It's an average issue. So you need, plus, it's a lot of work to have kids. You kind of need to divide up the labor, especially in the first year or two, because the woman is completely overwhelmed in the first year, and she needs somebody around to take care of her while she's taking care of the kid, fundamentally, or at least that's the way it looks.
The woman in the first year needs someone to take care of her while she's taking care of the baby. The woman in the first year needs someone to take care of her while she's taking care of the baby. So you need to support her in that year because she gonna lose her mind. She gotta take care of herself. She gotta take care of her baby. So when you taking care and bringing up a child by yourself, that first year, you can't shower, you can't do anything. Have you ever tried to shower while you have a newborn baby? Oh my gosh. Have you ever been sick and you had a newborn baby and you were breastfeeding? Like, I say I. So we do have to give that support and love and nurturing to new mothers. So that is the purpose of that relationship. You have somebody in those times. And you have somebody that's going to help you raise those kids.
So there's that. You need the stable basis for children, and it takes them a long time to mature, and they need to learn that relationships are trustworthy, right? So there's utility and stability there. But then also, you kind of want to tangle your life together with someone, because you have someone to, well, it's like two ropes that are tangled together. It's stronger, especially during times of weakness. And you have two brains instead of one, and that actually turns out to be really helpful when things are complicated. And builds a solidity into your life and a reality into your life to have someone who's along with you on this very long voyage. And so I think that deepens your life in a way that isn't really possible with fragmentary relationships as a single person.
Definitely.
And then there's more to it than that. It's like, I think of wrestling. There's this scene in the Old Testament where Jacob wrestles with an angel. He's wrestling with God, actually, which is quite an interesting. That's what Israel means, right? Wrestling with God. Yeah, that just blew me away when I learned it. It's so
Is that true?
The true people of Israel are those who wrestle with God.
Huh.
Yeah, it's not believe exactly. It's a whole different thing, man. It's a whole different thing. And
Isn't it like share from God? What it means? That's what I thought.
Well, it did from the work I did in the last couple of months looking at this, and I looked into it quite deeply. It does mean wrestling, essentially, and it does derive from that scene in the Old Testament where Jacob wrestles with God. That's when he gets the name Israel. And his hip is dislocated, right? Permanently. He has a permanent limp after that. It's no joke. But I think of marriage the same way. Like people think, well, they lived happily ever after. It's like, that's not what you want in a marriage. You want someone to contend with, because you learn through that wrestling,
Sure.
like.
He said, this guy's the truth. Marriage is not happily ever after. You want someone to contend with. You know how iron sharpens iron? So we are thinking competition in the negative way, but this is a person that is helping you level up. I love it.
You learn where you're an idiot and where you should stop being. And vice versa. So that's the spiritual aspect of marriage. It's the fact that you have to contend with someone under all sorts of circumstances. Theoretically, is what would you say? It's a manner of promoting psychological, or you could say spiritual growth, and it's genuine. That's why marriage is a sacrament in most human communities, right? It's stamped both by the state and by the sacred authorities.
So he said marriage is something that, you go through your life and you have someone to essentially, when you are in a relationship, even when you're dating, every person you meet can help grow you in a way that you could not grow yourself. I'm going to say it again. Every person that you meet in life and in dating and relationships can help you grow in a way that you could not grow yourself. Everybody knows something. If it's one thing I learned from the Uber driving, right? Everybody has something I can learn from them. We're so busy talking so much, we can't listen and learn. We think we measured up this man and we know everything about him there is to know. You don't know what is in his head. You don't know what's in his head and what's in his mind. You don't know what's in that woman's mind. You don't know what she knows. You don't know what she's been through. You don't know what experiences that she can pull from. You don't know what information she has absorbed. You don't know what information he has absorbed. He may know a lot about stocks. He may know a lot about raising children. He may know about whatever his interest is. Now, his interests are different from my interests, and we put that thing together. We a whole damn encyclopedia. Life is about information. It ain't about your money. It's about your information. Realtors know that. It's about who has the information. Changes situations. Information changes situations. So if you have information about relationships, come on, somebody, Ruth in relationships. If you have information about real estate, if you have information about money, if you have information about things you would normally not know about, that's the power. That's why the slaves were not allowed to read books, because the information was sitting right in your face in that book. We have gotten away from books, but that book holds the information. So now you don't like books. You don't like Audible. You don't like reading a real book. You don't like reading online. You don't like none of that stuff. You don't got Kindle. You don't want none of that stuff. The only thing left is videos and people. Videos and people. If you spend all your time having a good time on video and you're entertaining, you're not learning anything, all you have is people now. Look how all your resources dwindle down. So the only thing you learn is the 5 people that surround you, their information. That's all you know. That's all you ever know, because you're not expanding your mind and you're not growing. So relationships can help you learn about yourself in a way that you could never learn about yourself. It can help you when you're in your vulnerable moments and you have somebody give you great advice. When you're in your vulnerable moments and you get something that's pivotal. Something happened to me the other day where I heard something and I was like, light bulb, ding, light bulb, ting. Oh, where you going, light bulb? Oh, that's what that's about. Okay. It's not the other, it's me. I got to make a change. I made a change. I got the result. Boom, boom. Totally not on them, on me. Because I made the change. I got the information. I sat and I was willing to sit. Your butt's going to hurt. You're going to have pen. You're going to have paper. You're going to have plume and papier. Uh-oh. And you're going to write things down. And you're going to commit to memory. And you're going to be better in every area of your life, because all the information is at your fingertips. You can do a Google search. I said all that to say what? You have another human being as a full resource and you when you're in a relationship. Do you know anything about such and such and such? Oh, no. But I know a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy. What? Your network expands. What? They can check you and say, you know what? I know exactly what you're going through right now because I went through this and this is what happened. They can tell. Have you ever had a court case and you didn't know how it was going to happen? And you had a friend say, you know what? That happened to me, but this is what happened. That's what happened. The judge is going to say this. And you just like, yo, you made me feel so much better. That is the power of relationships. Whether it's romantic, whether it's friendship, whether it's business, that is the power in people. We are social creatures. We have to start learning how to opening back up again. Open up. I know they hurt you. I know they did you wrong. I know that was so disrespectful. I know that's why you don't have this kind of person in your life, and that's why you don't have that kind of person in your life. But you need to open up your heart again. You need to allow people to come and be a resource to you again. You need to allow them to cheer you up when you're cheering them up. We're not open because we got people that burnt us in the past. So what, we gonna stay in the past? We're gonna live there? We're gonna build a tent? You gotta learn how to move forward and move forward with the new people that God put in your life. If y'all can't resolve it in the old, move on with the new, baby. Move on with the new. Back to what he was talking about. And back to your normal programming.
Because it's not just a physiological union. That's what animals do. And, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the physiological union, but it has to be placed in the context of everything else a human being is. And I do think it's dreadful for people not to have that. And
do you think it's hard, it's become harder for people to have meaningful, lasting relationships, or has it always been this hard? I feel like I thank God that I'm not dating now, because I feel like it seems like it's miserable out there right now.
Well, it's
to
hard.
try to meet people.
It is hard although it's easier to meet people because there's more ways of meeting them,
right?
But the ways of meeting them are more shallow. In my clinical practice, I would say that the rise of the internet dating option has actually overall been good for people who are looking for a partner. Now, there is some speculation and some evidence that it lowers the transaction price of separation and divorce. Because one of the reasons you don't separate or you don't get divorced is like, well, you're going to find someone else. And if it's easier to find someone else, then perhaps you're more tempted to sever the relationship. So maybe you lose in one place where you gain in the other. But I think there are different kinds of hard that it is. It's hard for couples to figure out how to manage two careers. It's hard for women to figure out how to get educated and get their career launched at the same time.
Hey, Instagram, we're back. So we were talking about competing in relationships, and basically Jordan Peterson just said that it's easier now to get divorced and separated because you can go ahead and meet people quickly. So in one way, it's a good thing. In another way, it's not a good thing. So in one way, you'll meet someone new more frequently, faster, and easier. But it's also a way, like if somebody wants to leave the relationship, there's no like, well, who am I going to find? And this and that. You'll find somebody because of technology is going to help you find them faster, even if it's in a more shallow way, right? Technology is going to help you find them faster. However, it's going to be a lower, what is a barrier to exit or something when you're leaving the situation. It's not like it's not going to be like, oh, who am I going to find? I don't know who I'm going to end up with. You're like, nope, I'll be right on the app. You know what I mean? So that's what he was saying. But at the end of the day, those people are still looking for meaningful relationships.
Finding a partner and having kids. Because women have this tight time frame. They've got to get a lot done by the time they're mid-30s for sure. And so it's not much time. It's like 15 years really from the time you're an adult. You better get at it. It's not very long. So I think there are new challenges that have arisen that weren't there for previous generations. But previous generations had it hard in other ways.
That's very true, yeah. Like
they died.
50.
Yeah. Or in childbirth, for example.
There's always a trade-off.
Understand how to make a relationship work. Like, it's not just magic. You need to kind of put in the work to make it work.
It's hard.
You need to put in effort and compromise a lot of times. Like, if you live by yourself, you can do everything the way you would want.
Yeah.
If you live with someone else, then there's compromise.
Yeah, I think that was what I wanted to share with you guys. He basically was saying that, yes, you don't want to compete. Like what we were saying is accurate. You don't want to be in unhealthy competition with people when you're in a relationship. However, you don't want somebody that doesn't ever challenge you or make you better, because iron does sharpen iron. And he's like, you have somebody that is always going to be pushing you or letting you know, like, okay, you did good here, but you didn't do good there. And it just opens your eyes. But if you're in isolation, you're just going to keep on being, how people can just become weirdos. It's going to get weirder and weirder and weirder if you're by yourself. And we are social creatures. We love and crave other people. This is how we were designed. So it's very important that you make that a priority. It's very important that you make that something that you desire that's a goal. So women may think that men don't want a deeper relationship. They just want to sleep around. It's not true. Every one of them desires a deeper relationship. They want to get married. However, they are hesitant. It's a lot of bad press, and they want to find someone that they believe is their whole match. You don't got to say a whole lot when they find somebody that is their whole match. They want to move forward. You ain't never had to ask a man to do anything if he wants to do it. But if he doesn't want to do it, if it's a stutter step, then boom, you need to find out what's going on there, and maybe find somebody else that is just a no brainer for them, a no brainer. Because if you go back in history, in my history, I could see how there was a stutter step. I could see how the person knew that I was not a match. It wasn't me. It didn't mean that I wasn't a great person. It just means that the levels wasn't matching. There was competition going on. There was a lot of nonsense going on because I'm not saying I was better than them. No, it's just I chose based off of my insecurities, and I started the show with that. I chose based off of my insecurities and the convenience, the conveniency factor that women do. We choose who's around us, and men do that too. When they get married, they choose whoever is around them when they're ready. When they feel like they're ready, whoever that girl is around them, they're not going on this like, I'm going to America to find my queen. They're not like traveling the world to find a woman. No, they're not. Hey, baby, how are you? No, they're not. Whoever was around, whoever stuck around, and when they decided that they was gonna do what they do, and that's the only way you can do it, honey. They can't make them do nothing, honey. What y'all got to say, Facebook? Don't say I ain't check. I did check Facebook. We gonna fight. All right. So that is it for today. Bottom line, you don't want to compete in your relationship, but you also want to challenge the person that you're with to be the best version of themselves. If y'all not trying to progress and be better people, just wait until you decide that one day I'm gonna mature and I'm gonna grow up, and when I grow up, I'm gonna be a better person. Because your partner is not gonna do nothing but want you to be better. There was one more thing I want to show y'all before I go. This is what not to do, sis. What not to do. I'm gonna show y'all what not to do, because this was crazy that I saw today. There's not enough eligible black men.
Conversation started below in the comments. What do you think about what? And it's also shown in research that women want to make.
Hold on one second. You know I can't never. This was the competition thing I was telling you about. I did say I was gonna do this. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, I didn't pull it out. Here we go. Okay. So I want y'all to see this. And you'll see why we have competition in our community.
Orientation. What needs of black women?
Do you think the challenge is that women are having, black women in particular, when it becomes to becoming a wife?
Keeping it 100,
Yes.
there's not enough eligible black males who fit the needs of black women. By the time you dissect the demographics of finances, sexual orientation, what you end up drilling down into, because black women tend to want to marry black men.
Right.
So black women are excelling. They're getting accelerated degrees, graduate degrees, doctorate degrees. They're starting businesses. Black women are running circles around men.
Right.
And it's also shown in research that women want to marry on their same level of financial and educational status.
Yeah.
So if you're a black woman making $150,000 a year with a master's degree, you tend to want to marry a black man on that same level or higher. If black women are excelling at such an accelerated rate, how do men keep up with that?
These all three.
You don't call them 3 or 4 now. All right. So what I want to say about that, this is what I want to say. Y'all want to know what I want to say about that? I understand, Miss Rebecca Lynn Pope. I understand, your position. and that there are women out there that make a lot of money that can't find a man. I get that. But that is not the majority of y'all black women, okay? I'm a realtor. I know what they make. You look at the average, it's closer to that. If not, I'd be having a whole bunch of women in single homes because that's what y'all want. No, sis, I'm sending them to the row house. That's what I'm doing. Y'all going to the row house. Why? Why are you going to the row house? Because you're not making, everybody's not making that amount of money. That's not even the median. The average income for a black woman is $34,000. That's what the statistics say. That is a small majority of, if 10% of the guys are six-figure earners, then it's 10% of the women that are six-figure earners as well. So why are you speaking like, just because we progress from maybe 1% of us to 10, it's increasingly growing. We increasingly are going to college, but they're still not making that much. And be like, okay, so where are all the men? It's not like it's 90% of the women are like, oh, we all make six figures. Where y'all at? No, that's not the case. So what's good for the majority is for you to say, y'all are not making enough money. Like, that's what's good for the majority. So my point to all of this is that this is where the competition is created. This is propaganda. Propaganda. Those two women are making six figures and more. Those two women probably have to get a man that's making less than them. But all the other women that are watching, I don't know if it's the producers. I don't know if it's the network. I don't know why. It's like, oh, y'all need to stop portraying black women fighting on TV. Let's now portray that we're also all making six figures. Here, you'll get six figures. You'll get six figures. You'll get six figures. You'll get six figures. This is not a problem for the average woman. It's not. Those women that are making more money, if they feel like they have to settle, like men that have six figures, they're not looking for a woman that has six figures. They have to date down in salary. That's the same thing those women have to do. But stop acting like it's a majority. It's not. It's creating competition. It's creating queen vibes. And women think that it's going to continue to blow up our ego and we're not going to be humble. Okay? Oh no, we all have to have men that is on our same level. And meanwhile, you rather us be single and miserable and without a man because a woman was designed to desire her man. That is the curse of Eve. Read your Bible, sis. Read your Bible, sis. Man his curse was to work the dirt, the dust, the earth, right? To work. When they ate of the apple, woman was childbirth and she was going to desire her man. That's why women don't really desire multiple men. It's just recently we do that because we're trying to be like men so much. But for real, when we get that one guy, we stuck like Chuck. Come on, somebody. We are stuck like Chuck. I just want to see everybody. No, we want to be with that one person because your desire is going to be for your husband. So yes, you can have your money, but remember that desire is going to be there, baby. So if you don't do what you have to do, if you don't learn, and she never brought up the fact that women have to be more feminine and women have to be more accountable and women have to do other things besides make money. In a masculine society that values money so much, except for when it comes to relationships, men are not looking for that. They're valuing femininity. They're valuing values and the nurturing part and the cooperation part and the beautiful part and all this other stuff. You value on money and don't care what you look like and don't care if you eat right and don't care all of that stuff. It's just it don't matter to you. But that's what matters to him. And you're saying, oh no, y'all, we're doing better than y'all. We're running circles around y'all. When did this narrative change? Well, that's what they've been telling us. So if y'all like the results, y'all go with that. But for me, it's a no-go. It's a no-go. We're not doing that. We're going to get regular women married. If y'all want to be in y'all six-figure box, stay there. When those regular women are producing and they're marrying and they're having their children in a two-parent household, then we could talk all these extreme circumstances. But right now, that is not it. And if you have six figures and I offended you, I apologize. But that is not my intention. My intention is for the greater good of Black people. The greater good. Okay? Roll my eyes. All right. That's all I had to say right now. Because I love y'all so much. I got to tell you the truth. I got to tell you the truth. It'll be concentrated areas where you see that with women. It'll be concentrated parts where these girls went to certain colleges and did the thing. They got these awesome jobs and certain groups of friends. Yes. But you can't say it's every black woman. Are you kidding me? It's millions of us. I think I'm done. When I finish off, you feel like you good and cuss them out, then you gotta go. I was doing good until they had me hot this morning. They had me hot like fire. I was like, why? Who's paying you to say this? Yes, it's true, but you're skewing the facts like you're Kevin Samuels. He does the same thing. Take a statistic and blow it out of proportion and make a narrative out of nowhere just to go viral or just to have views or just whatever agenda it is. We got to stop this. And y'all have to wisen up and know what's good for you and what's not. And when I say that's not good for you, that is not it. If you have 6 figures, then that's your problem. If you don't, do not listen. You put your fingers. Let me teach you something. When they talking all that nonsense that's gonna keep you from being married, sis, you be like, la 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 la, I don't hear you. That's what you do, okay? And then you humble yourself. God will bless you, and you'll be on your way. All right. If you didn't see the whole show, watch it from the beginning. Thank you so much for watching Ruth and Relationships. The whole show is on YouTube. Instagram just completely wiped it out. Sorry, guys. Thank you so much for watching Ruth and Relationships. Ruth and Relationships. Tell me, can you handle it? It's the Ruth and Relationship show. The Ruth and Relationship show. Okay? Bye. I didn't